Welcome to Reaching World Podcast, where we highlight the world's largest network of influencers for good, love, and service. Join us in saying thank you to these incredible individuals and organizations by listening, subscribing, and sharing their legacies. And by doing this together, we will help inspire others to leave their legacy of service and love. I'm your host, Zach Garner. All right, so we're really excited to have Emily Reeves on the podcast today. Emily, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us a little about your background.
Certainly, I'd be happy to. Yes, my name is Emily Reeves, and I consider myself, I use the hashtag model mechanic because my background is in the fashion industry. I grew up modeling and acting, and then simultaneously, I started dating a boy when I was 14, and he was a mechanic. And so I started working in the shop and wrenching, and so really the past 18 years now, this year will be 18 years that Aaron and I have been together, I have been modeling and mechanicking. So it's an amazing contrast to my life that I absolutely love. Aaron and I bought the property that adjoined my family's property in the small town we both grew up in. And we have a shop that adjoins our house. And it's just absolutely awesome. We started the YouTube channel 4 years ago this month, actually in March. And we have had past building it and traveling all over the world with it. It's just been absolutely awesome. And we're so excited to continue to see it grow. This year, it expanded to a network TV show that came out on Motor Trend in January. Nice. And the show is called Live, Love, Wrench. And it turned out very cute. And it was a spinoff sort of the YouTube show. And so that was a really cool thing and kind of an expansion of our brand and show. So that has just been really, really neat. We've had so much feedback over the years from couples that have come together and gotten closer because they're inspired by us working in the shop together, and dads that watch it with their daughters that say a girl can be pretty and work in the shop too, you can do this. And
yeah you kind of changed that whole dynamic for sure.
And so that's just been absolutely awesome to have that reassurance and encouragement from a lot of wonderful people on social media. Haters exist, but there are so many more positive, uplifting, encouraging people, so those are the ones I focus on. We just have a blast with all the automotive stuff. It's really fun, and aviation as well. We love airplanes and really anything with an engine we're all about. So
cool. That is awesome. Well, holy cow. So at 14 years old, you fell in love with this boy, and he's the one that introduced you to the whole world of mechanics and auto work, and here you are making a career out of it. That's so cool. It's an American dream as a couple. Good for you guys.
It's pretty wild. Anybody can just start just making videos and putting them online and hope people watch them. And so that's what we do. It's working out.
And so that was 4 years ago. So how have your dreams changed from 4 years ago to today? Like, what's your current dream that you guys are chasing together as a couple?
So our current dream with Flying Sparks Garage is to build the show and build the following enough to where we can adventure and not spend our lunch money actually doing it, where a lot of the companies we work with consider us valid marketing dollars because, the world of social media has created this incredibly out there, immediate, instant gratification news right there at our fingertips. And so people are getting their marketing in a really authentic, real way through influencers and social media. And that's what I get really stoked about, is working with all these companies that we love their parts, or we love who they are as a company, or what they offer to the marketplace. And if they can look at us and say, hey, we love this couple, we love what they're doing, we love that they're inspiring other people to get out there and build their own cars and adventure across the country, and we want to support that. That's where we want to put our marketing dollars, is in those kinds of people. And so that's what we're trying to build. That's the next phase of our dream. Initially, the dream was maybe we'll make some videos and maybe people will watch them and like them, And
from building a following to
we see how all that hard work is paying off, and it's been extremely worthwhile, and now the vision gets bigger and the work gets harder and it gets more time consuming, but the payoff has been more. So it's kind of like you get out what you put in, and man, is that ever true.
Yeah, totally. It really is. That's fun how that as you take action and start getting content out there, your dreams have evolved and changed. And so with that, with all the videos you've put out there and the sponsored events and trips and things you've had, what has been one of your highlights since you've started building this audience and you and Aaron have experienced together?
Well, that's a great question. It's a two-part answer for me. The first part of the answer is Aaron and I built the car we dated in 2017. So we had our 10-year wedding anniversary that year. And so we decided to build the car that we dated in. And so that was the first phase of a dream come true, because that car was in really bad shape and we had it down to just the body. No suspension, no engine, no interior, no transmission. It was just a shell, and we built that thing and it was just turned out awesome. And that's our little Datsun 280Z. And so the second part of that dream come true, kind of like, oh my gosh, is this even real, is actually came out in January, but it was March's issue of Hot Rod magazine. They did a 5-page spread on our car and our story. And that just absolutely surreal.
Cool.
And that came from mostly came from the relationships we've created in the industry. Having the car on Hot Rod Power Tour, that was the unveiling of the build. So everyone watched the build on social media and on YouTube. And then we hit the streets for Hot Rod Power Tour, which is a 7-day, 7-city road trip that we've done for years and years. In fact, the first year we did it for our honeymoon, the year we got married. So it made perfect sense to build the car that we dated in for our 10-year wedding anniversary and hit the road on Power Tour. So obviously Hot Rod magazine took a liking to that, and we ended up in the issue. So that was just...
That's cool. That's kind of a full circle dream come true then.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Well, good for you. Obviously it takes trial and error to build, 69,000 subscribers on YouTube and almost 20,000 followers on Facebook. So what advice would you give a struggling entrepreneur or mother or father that wants to give up on their dreams of building an audience and positioning themselves like you have in the market?
So some advice that I give people quite frequently is check out what you're doing and check out how you feel like you could do it better, and look at people in the space that you're trying to be in and see what they're doing, and see maybe what you offer that's different and what you can emphasize on your differences, yet stay in the same realm that they're having success with. So just kind of learning from the marketplace, but in the same time, really be yourself. Don't try and be, go along the frame of someone else's vibe. Just say, I am in this automotive space, but I am different. So, whatever space you're in, really try and figure out what makes you unique and try and focus on that. And then the other thing that I try and tell you to do is there are so many social networks and so many social groups on the different platforms like, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all of those platforms. There are groups. And if you're having trouble getting views or getting subscribers or getting followers, take some time to gather some of your content you're most proud of and put together something that you can post in those different groups and share and expose those people to you and who you are and what you do. And that helps a lot with traffic, because if you share it to a group of 1,000 people, each one of those people shares your Instagram or your YouTube channel, then that can help you grow exponentially. And that's something I did really early on that helped a lot. And I haven't taken the time recently to do that, but I need to, because I saw a lot of growth from that, just from features and reaching out to groups and saying, hey guys, I'm also a big fan of whatever this, whatever you're into. And I started a channel, and check it out for me. And if you like it, share it,
Yeah, so. Totally. That's great advice. I love what you said in the beginning too, like find what's working out there essentially and kind of rebrand it, put your name, your version and take on it, right? Because at the end of the day on the internet, no one's reinventing the wheel, right? They're kind of rebranding it and giving it their own name and their own feel, and then finding a platform and offering awesome value to build that audience. Because like you said, it's worth it. It's worth the investment in the beginning to put that out there.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, why don't you go ahead and give us, that secret sauce of what it takes to be an entrepreneur like yourself? What gives you the edge, the daily edge every day? Do you have like a routine or habits that you like to do and apply it in your everyday to give you that competitive edge and help you accomplish your daily tasks and goals?
I don't know that I have a secret sauce. I wish I could here's what it is, Zach. I feel like every day I evaluate what's most important to do. I think when you're an entrepreneur and a creative, I constantly feel overwhelmed with all the things things I need to be doing and all the things that I should be doing. Wake up at night and have ideas. Oh, I need to do this video, or I think this would get, a lot of hits, or this would be really meaningful to people. I want to do this. There's always something that you should be doing, that we should be doing as creators. But I think just trying to do something every day that works you closer to your goal. And also it really helps if I can stay in a positive place and visualize myself already there, already having those partners and already having feelings of like, that level of stoke whenever I hear that I inspire somebody or that sort of thing. Just focusing on those feelings, then I tend to experience that more than if I just focus on what I'm not getting done and how many subscribers I don't have, that sort of thing, because there's always room for growth. I mean, I get very critical of myself of, followership and subscribership, and, that just takes you nowhere. I have to really find myself to stay positive and each day make a movement towards something that I feel like benefits the overall goal. So I think little by little, I'm not sure of secret sauce, but there probably is one, but I just kind of try and be positive and inch my way towards my goals.
Good for you. No, I think there is that secret sauce parts to your recipe to make it work there. It's keeping a perspective, right? Like you have a perspective, you see yourself in the future of where you want to be, and you're taking daily actions. And you're a living testament of, look, you started this YouTube channel 4 years ago, and here we are on the podcast 4 years later. So you've been consistent enough on a daily basis to get where you are now. So I think it's keeping a perspective and being consistent on it, right? Because that's what you guys have done. You guys have tons of videos, tons of followers. So you never gave up on it, and you were consistent on that.
Yeah, that's for sure. Got to keep going.
Got to keep going. But Emily, why don't you go ahead and tell our podcast listeners the best platform that followers can find you and keep up to date on your videos and on your products that you're selling?
Absolutely, yes. Okay, so on Instagram, I'm Emily Reeves. That's IMEMILYREEVES. And then on YouTube, if you look up Flying Sparks Garage, you will find our channel and all of our recent videos. And then we also have a website where you can learn about us and see pictures of our projects and our garage and all that good stuff. And that's flyingsparksgarage.com.
Perfect. I do love you. I saw on your YouTube video why you named it Flying Sparks between you and Aaron. And I love that. Why don't you go ahead and share with our podcast listeners why you guys chose the name Flying Sparks?
Sure, yes. Flying Sparks Garage actually took a long time to name because we don't just name anything randomly. We always have meaning behind it. And so the name has a few different elements that we love. One being spark is very necessary in an engine, gas engine particularly, but spark is necessary to have an engine run and take you down the road. We love the term flying sparks for in a relationship when there's two people and there's interaction and someone might say, wow, there were sparks flying between them. So because we're in the shop together working, we love that flying spark correlation. And also visually for when you're working in the shop, a lot of times there's sparks flying. So when you're welding or when you're grinding or when you're using a cutting wheel, there's sparks flying. So visually, I loved that. And so, yeah, there's a lot of meaning to Flying Sparks Garage. Also, we love to fly airplanes. So anything flying related, we like.
Cool. Well, Emily, thanks again. It's been a great episode. We've enjoyed listening to you and hearing about your story from the startup to where you are now and the things you have going on. So thanks again for your time. And we look forward to following you and your journey and what you're doing in the market.
Absolutely, Zach. I appreciate it very much.
These episodes will be launched on Mondays and Thursdays. And if you'd like someone to be on the podcast, if you think there's someone in your network that should be recognized for the good they are doing in the world, please reach out to us and send us a direct message. We can be found at Reaching World Podcast on Facebook.com. So be sure to find us there, like our page, and submit any ideas or suggestions of individuals or organizations that should be highlighted on this podcast.